Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, I will share you 10 mistakes to avoid specifically when applying for U.S. naturalization. Let's get started. Mistake number 1. Not meeting eligibility requirements. Naturalization requires fulfilling certain criteria like holding a green card for at least 5 years, or 3 years if married to a U.S. citizen, maintaining continuous residence, and demonstrating good moral character. Example: if you've had your green card for only 4 years and applied, USCIS will deny your application because you don't meet the time requirement. Solution: carefully review USCIS eligibility requirements. Use the early filing calculator to determine when you can apply if you're close to meeting the time requirement. Mistake number 2. Failure to review your N-400 application form. Immigration officers usually ask several questions based on the applicant's N-400 information, so if your answer is inconsistent or different from the information which you're provided in your application, this could make you look suspicious, and the officer may examine you further, or may even deny your application. Since you may have submitted your N-400 application months before your interview, there's a big possibility that you may not remember every single detail of what you wrote in there during your interview. Solution: so, to prevent this, you must spend some time reviewing, studying, and updating the copy or your Form N-400 application before your interview, since most of the questions that the immigration officer will ask you refer to the information on your application. Mistake number 3. Not enough physical presence. To qualify for naturalization, a green card holder must have enough physical presence in the United States measured on a day-by-day basis. Your physical presence in the U.S. is an important requirement of citizenship. You will need to follow travel and residency requirements closely to avoid rejection of your application. Make sure that you have resided 30 of the past 60 months, 2.5 of past 5 years, in the U.S. or spent 18 of last 36 months, 1.5 of past 3 years, living in the U.S. if you are married to a U.S. citizen, and taken no trips out of the U.S. lasting over 6 months. Unfortunately, some people come to us who miscalculated their physical presence in the United States before applying for naturalization, or they don't know how many days they spend outside the U.S. In most instances, these people end up having their naturalization case denied. Solution: avoid extended absences and keep detailed records of all travel dates. If you've had long absences, provide evidence showing you maintain ties to the U.S., example, owning a home or having immediate family here. Mistake number 4. 3-month residency requirement. This is a sneaky, secretive, or dishonest mistake, and one that many, if not most, naturalization applicants are not even aware of. Naturalization applicants must file their naturalization application in the state or service district that has jurisdiction over their place of residence, and the applicant must have lived in that location for at least 3 months before filing. And yes, this can result in a denial. There were some applicants who applied for naturalization and after as long as a year of waiting were denied because they hadn't met the 3 months residency requirement when filing. Solution: count backward from the filing date. This method calculates your residency period relative to the date you plan to file Form N-400. Identify your intended filing date. Example: you plan to file your application on March 15, 2024. Count back 3 months, start from the filing date and count backward to determine the starting point. Example: from March 15, 2024, count backward 3 months to December 15, 2023. Check residency. Verify that you lived in the same state or USCIS district continuously from December 15, 2023 to March 15, 2024. Mistake number 5. Fail civics. English exam. The civics exam consists of a simple 10-question exam about American politics and history. You must answer 6 correct questions to pass this part. You will not know what questions the officer will ask, so you must learn 100 civics questions fully. When you carefully study 100 questions of the U.S. citizenship test, it is useful to the reading and writing test, so if it relates to the history and citizenship tests. The naturalization interview is conducted in English, and the English test usually consists of the USCIS officer asking the applicant to write a sentence said to them verbally and to also read a sentence out loud that is given to them on paper. You have 3 opportunities to do this portion. Solution: in our experience, older naturalization applicants sometimes have difficulty passing the English examination. During the 5+ months that the naturalization application is pending, applicants with weak English skills should study and practice to strengthen their English. Mistake number 6. Failure to show good moral character. Naturalization applicants must show that they have been a person of good moral character during the 5 years before their application. Volumes of books by immigration scholars about what exactly good moral character means. Suffice it to say that any misdemeanor or felony conviction within that 5-year period could be a bar to the finding of a good moral character, meaning your application could be denied, depending on the criminal case circumstances. When applying for naturalization, USCIS will obtain your biometrics and run a criminal background check. But USCIS is also interested to know if you have committed a crime in other countries as well. These factors contribute to meeting the good moral character requirement. Some crimes will permanently bar a permanent resident from U.S. citizenship, while other crimes create a temporary bar. If you have ever been convicted of a murder or aggravated felony, you will most likely be permanently denied U.S. citizenship. These are automatic bars, meaning the USCIS officer has no discretion in the matter. Aggravated felonies in immigration law can be defined somewhat differently than they are by state courts. Mistake number 7. Failure to meet financial obligations. Example: owing back taxes, failing to file tax returns, or inconsistently filing taxes during the statutory period. Impact: USCIS may see tax issues as evidence of poor moral character or irresponsibility. The good news is that debt alone is not a bar to naturalization. However, there are some financial issues that affect the moral character requirement and could interfere with your ability to naturalize as a U.S. citizen. Failure to pay taxes is a common reason to have a Form N-400 denied. If you let USCIS find this problem, you will likely be denied citizenship. Contact an immigration attorney and tax advisor that can help you develop a plan to pay the taxes and demonstrate to USCIS that you're fixing the problem. By addressing the problem, most people can continue the naturalization process and avoid an N-400 denial. Another common issue for N-400 applicants is the willful failure to support dependents. If an applicant for naturalization has a minor child or children who do not live with the applicant, it is necessary to prove that the applicant is providing adequate financial support. If there is a court order of support, it's important to have evidence of compliance with that order. An applicant that fails to make timely child support payments could have the Form N-400 denied. Mistake number 8. Fraud and lying to USCIS. If USCIS believes that your answer to a question is deceptive or untrue, your application for naturalization will be delayed and could be denied. It doesn't matter if the error was innocent. You must make sure that your application for naturalization is true and accurate when filed. If the information is difficult to obtain and you cannot obtain it, e.g. travel history, you must make a reasonable effort to find the answer. During the naturalization process, USCIS will review your history. If the officer determines that a green card was issued, even many years before, in a fraudulent manner, citizenship may be denied. Likewise, other situations, new or old, that put the applicant's good moral character in question will hold up the process. Be honest with your answers. If you feel that an honest answer may create a problem with naturalization, that's a good indicator that you need to speak to an attorney before filing Form N-400. Mistake number 9. Not bringing the originals and supporting documents. When you show up for your interview, you must be ready to provide the originals and certified copies of your documentation as evidence if the officer will ask it from you. Providing the important documentation is one of the major reasons why they call you for an interview at the USCIS office. So, the immigration officers will usually ask to see the originals of the copies you're submitted with your N-400 application. Failure to bring the originals, certified copies, and other supporting documents may result in having your interview postponed or rescheduled, which could unnecessarily delay the processing of your U.S. citizenship. This could even give a negative impression to the interviewing officer, so in worst cases, the officer may even deny your application. So, to avoid this mistake, make sure to gather and prepare all your necessary documents early on. Keeping your documentation well organized means you are well prepared, and it could leave a positive impression on the immigration officer. Mistake number 10. Arriving late for your interviewing. If your name will be called, and you do not appear at the time of your interview appointment, the immigration officer assigned to interview you may consider that you have abandoned your application. So, unless you can provide a valid reason, your application may be denied, and you will have to file a new application again. On the other hand, if your reason has been accepted, and the officer decides to reschedule your interview, this could also delay your naturalization because it takes several months to do this process. So, to avoid this problem, be sure to arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes before your scheduled appointment so you will have enough time to park your car and go through a security checkup on entering the USCIS office. Thank you for watching. We've compiled a list of the 10 common reasons for a continuation or denial of a Form N-400 application in this video. I hope that this video is helpful for you. Good luck, everyone!